Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your monthly intuitive reading for August 2021. For this month's monthly intuitive reading, we'll be using the Syrian Starseed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this month, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Starseed Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel. So this is a pretty powerful and special month. We're going to be talking about the Lion's Gate portal of energy here in just a moment. But let's go ahead and start by taking a look at your stones of choice for the special message card as it comes up later. So your first stone of choice here. This is a Lemurian seed crystal, and we know it's a Lemurian seed because it has these wonderful kind of edges there. You can see maybe in the glare of the light these indentations of energies. This is encoded energies from the Lemurian, the ancient Lemurian ancestors of the light. This is not only a Lemurian seed crystal, but this is also called a bridge crystal, because on the back side of this, if you can see, there's a little bridge crystal here. Oh, you can see it better when I turn it on its side. See that little point sticking out? This is a crystal growing out of the crystal. So they call it a bridge crystal because it means that it helps to bridge realities. It helps to bridge our earthly reality with other dimensional realities. In this case, it helps us to bridge our ancient ancestral roots with the Lemurian time period, as well as, other galactic frequencies and energies. It bridges that with our third dimensional reality because of this bridge point here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second crystal. I'm not going to give you a whole lot. I want you to use your intuition when you're picking your crystal of choice, although I am telling you a little bit about this, right? Your second crystal of choice is actually a pair of selenite hearts. Now, selenite is a higher vibrational energy stone. I guess I am telling you a little bit about it. Helps to bridge or connect us to our past lives as well as our future lives. It helps us to connect to the angelic realm, and it definitely opens up that crown chakra to claircognizance and other psychic abilities. You can see that wonderful kind of iridescent energy of the selenite, very high vibrational stone. And then our last stone of choice is a beautiful, pretty nice size hunk of lapis. Now, the lapis is a third eye stone, right? So it's opening up our clairvoyance. We can even say our clairaudience, our throat chakra, our channeling abilities. This is a stone that the ancient Egyptians really revered and wore oftentimes in headdresses and over their third eye. So this is a stone that helps us with our psychic vision, as well as, again, as I said, speaking our divine truth, channeling divine energy and messages. So again, our stones of choice are that Lemurian seed quartz crystal, the bridge, the pair of selenite hearts, and the wonderful nice hunk of lapis. Okay, so you get to think about that for a little while. So let's start by talking about the energy vibration of the month of August. Now, August is the 8th month. The number 8 is a power number. August is always the 8th month. But the personal month vibration of August, we take that 8, because August is the 8th month of the year, and we add it to the universal year in question. And for 2021, if we add that 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1, we get a 5. So that means the universal year vibration for the collective for the year 2021 is a 5 energy. And 5 is all about change and freedom and redirection. And 5s are busy energy with a lot going on. And we can focus on networking. We can focus on just a lot of things happening at once where we need to juggle certain things or wear many hats. And as I said, 5s bring in change energy. So it can bring in an energy of feeling instability energies, or chaotic energies, or nervous energies. But that's just because it brings in a lot of change. Now, if we take that universal year vibration of the 5 and we add it to the 8th month, August, we get the number 13. And the number 13 happens to be a karmic number in numerology, right? So the number 13, the ancients revered this as a mystical number, but it is the number of death and rebirth. So karmically, the number 13 in numerology brings about transformation, death and rebirth. It brings about this transitional sort of energy. It brings in energies of feeling stuck or limited in previous lifetimes. Because it's a karmic number, it often deals with past lives. So there's this feeling of being stuck, limited, restricted, held back in some way. Things aren't moving very quickly. We're needing to shift our perspectives and look at the bigger picture. We're needing to pay attention to the small details. And we're needing to have patience in order to move through whatever stuck energy we're moving through, as well as having patience for whatever lies ahead to unfold for us. Now, if we were to look at the 13th Major Arcana in the tarot, which I always like to do for the monthly readings, we have, of course, the Death card, right? The 13th Major Arcana is the Death card. Now, in the Syrian Starseed Tarot, it's labeled Transition, which is, I think for a lot of you, it has the little bit less of a powerful connotation to it. But the Death card just simply means a metaphoric death and rebirth is taking place. Just like this card, Transition, right? There's a transitional energy that's occurring. So there's a need to release, let go, purge, so that you can be reborn, right? That's what death and rebirth is all about. Now, sometimes it can talk about a physical transition. So there may be that physical transition energy, and whether that's a soul transitioning from this plane of reality to the next, whether that's about a situation or a circumstance that's going through a death and rebirth or transitional process, or a relationship that's going through a death or rebirth and transitional process. This is all about transition. But if you look at the imagery on this card, we have a woman lying here on, I guess, what you might call a bed of some sort. So some sort of resting mode here. And you can see that part of her spirit, part of her soul, is transitioning into this portal of energy. Now, we could think about this as in dream time, right? We're astral traveling, right? We're astral traveling in our dream time. Our soul is traveling to other dimensions of time and space. We're visiting other people, whether it's on this planetary system or other dimensions, right? This is also about the transitional energy of other worlds, other realms that are coming to us. So we can be definitely going into these other realms, but these other realms and the energies from these other realms can be coming to us as well. This to me is just like a portal of energy, which brings us back to the Lion's Gate portal of energy, which started July 26th and lasts until August 12th, which we'll touch base on here in just a moment. But this is definitely telling us that the month of August is full of some sort of transformation energy, right? Transformation, transmutation, releasing the old, getting ready for the new, transition, death and rebirth. This is the focus of the vibration of the month of August. Okay, so let's talk about the Lion's Gate portal, okay? The Lion's Gate portal, again, it opened officially on July 26th, and it closes on August 12th, with it being at its strongest point on 8/8 or August 8th. August 8th or 8/8 is when that portal of Lion's Gate energy is the strongest. And what is that all about? It's about the star Sirius, okay? This is, a lot of you out there may resonate to our star brothers and sisters of the light. And we have Pleiadians and Arcturians and Alpha Centaurians. One of those star systems and one of those race of beings are the Sirians, and it relates to the star Sirius. Every year, around this time of the year, we have the star Sirius rising in the heavens, okay? And this was viewed in ancient times when the star Sirius rose in the sky. It was, viewed as a time of prosperity and fertility. especially with the ancient Egyptians. You know, it actually coincided with the flooding of the Nile River in ancient Egypt, but the ancient Egyptians looked at this flooding as a gift of prosperity, abundance, fertility. Things were overflowing with the blessings, right? They even aligned the star Sirius and how it rose with the building of the pyramids. And in fact, the building of those pyramids might have been to be sort of like a transmitter of that Sirian starseed light, or a transmitter of universal light codes, or a transmitter of higher galactic energies, which is what this Lionsgate portal is all about during this time. It's opening up a massive influx of powerful energy vibration from the cosmos, okay? And it's opening up this portal that opens up our heart chakra, even more so, our crown chakra, even more so. This is helping us as far as the heart chakra to access our inner divine love and light and truth. It's opening up that crown chakra to open up that awakening of soul consciousness or higher consciousness. It increases our psychic abilities and intuition. This Lionsgate portal also assists with DNA activation, the DNA within us as human beings on this planet we call Earth Mother Gaia, that has been dormant, that DNA that's been dormant. This Lionsgate portal helps to activate some of that DNA. It brings us into higher realms of consciousness. It downloads us with galactic frequencies and star codes. So this is a hugely important time period, and especially with this being a karmic number 13 month of death and rebirth, transition, and getting ready to kind of, you know, renew yourself in a new and different way, that rebirth part. I feel like this is going to be a very powerful portal of energy. So know again that between July 26th and August 12th, with the highest vibration of that energy being on August 8th. So let's talk about some of the astrological points of significance, the astrological transits of significance for this month. I'm not going to talk about all the transits because that would take way too long, and that's why I do the weekly intuitive video from week to week, so we can hone in on what those weekly aspects or transits between the planets are. I will say, though, that there is a lot going on with what we call the personal planets. The personal planets are the faster moving planets, the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars. These faster moving planets, when they transit and connect with other planets, activates a lot of busyness, activates a lot of things happening in our, what we call maybe third dimensional reality, right? The things that we have to take care of on a daily basis: home, family, career, money, finances, relationships. Those personal planets are heavily influencing those aspects of our life, and there is a lot going on this month. But to just focus on what the highlights are, we're going to start on August 8th, which is that Lionsgate portal coming to its highest intensity or magnification. On August 8th, we have a new moon at 16 degrees Leo. So it's doubly important. Not only is this the Lionsgate portal magnified, you know, the highest intensity point of this whole time period of the Lionsgate portal, but we have a new moon, and new moons are about new beginnings. This new moon is in Leo, which is about shining your light out into the world, creative self-expression, being a leader, being confident, having courage, maybe with that courage taking a risk. You know, although risk-taking is more of Aries, fire sign Aries realm, but fire sign Leo, courage, confidence, they can take a risk too. They can take charge, right? They can roar like a lion. They can make things happen. They're ready to go. And so this creative self-expression, this light-filled energy within us, which is also about the inner child, by the way. Leo rules our inner child. So there's a new beginning of renewing that inner child, of bringing security and healing to that inner child. A new beginning in the realm of all creative projects and creative self-expression, which again is ruled by Leo. So that is on that 8-8 Lionsgate, August 8th time period. Now, the other thing that happens on August 8th is that the South Node and I'll explain in a minute what the South Node is, but the South Node is connecting to Juno, the marriage asteroid, the partnership asteroid in astrology. So for the past 4 to 6 weeks, Juno, the marriage asteroid, and the South Node have been traveling together very closely. They already came together once a few weeks ago. And they're going to come together again for the last time, at least during this time period, on August 8th, the time of the new moon, the time of the 8-8 Lion's Gate. The South Node, along with the North Node, are points in space that refer to karmic endings and new beginnings. It refers to past lives, future lives, or the past versus the future. Doors closing or energies of completion versus new doors opening and energies of new beginnings or initiation. So the South Node, which rules more of the past and past lives and past life karma and past life energies or situations or circumstances or past life relationships or subconscious patterns within our lives or those relationships. The South Node is connecting to the partnership asteroid Juno on the 8th. And since this has been traveling, they have been traveling together for the past 4 to 6 weeks, I feel like there's been things going on in our relationships that we need to take a look at. Now, not only does Juno rule commitment and love and commitment and passion and security within partnerships and relationships, but she does rule the shadow side of relationships and partnerships too. So betrayal or lack of trust or jealousy, things of that nature. So a lot of things come up when we talk about Juno. You might want to Google some of her keywords, and that's Juno, Juno. And that's going to tell you a lot more about what she rules. So know that this can bring in about some sort of karmic shift in our relationships. There's something that's been kind of bubbling for the past month and a half to where we have to make a decision, or maybe there's an ending or releasing or completion of an old pattern of energy or old ways of perceiving or believing about relationship and how they operate. Or we could be teeter-tottering on, what do I do in this relationship? Do I go this way? Do I go that way? So I feel like, there's definitely something here that's occurring within that first week or a little over that first week time period in August. And then we're going to skip ahead to the 11th of August when Mercury moves out of Leo and into Virgo. So for the next few weeks, from August 11th and for probably about 2.5 weeks here, Mercury is going to be in its home sign of Virgo. Now, Mercury rules our thoughts, ideas, perceptions, and communications. While it was in Leo, and for the first 11 days of August here, still being in Leo, it's been much more magnanimous, much more take charge, much more creative, much more fun and joy-filled. Now it's moving into Virgo, so it's more logical, it's more analytical, it's more discerning in the sign of Virgo. It's looking at all the details, it's picking things apart to try to understand all aspects of a situation or circumstance. So from the 11th of August until the 29th of August, it's going to be in that sign, taking care of details, organizing thoughts, organizing lists of things to do or things to take care of. And then we moved to the 15th of August. Now on the 15th of August, Venus, the planet of love, relationships, money, finances, personal resources, and values, what we value, is moving out of Virgo, where she probably wasn't so happy. Venus and Virgo, Venus is about love and beauty and harmony, and Virgo just sometimes gets a little bit too in the head, too overly logical and analytical, and a little bit nitpicky sometimes. So as she's leaving Virgo and moving into Libra, which is her home sign, she's going to be a lot more comfortable there, right? Now she's focused on balance and equality and harmony in relationships, all types of relationships. She's focused on inner beauty, okay, not outer beauty, but she's focused on her own inner beauty and valuing herself. But in order to value herself, her relationships with other people, whether it be romantic, friendship, family, they need to be in a state of balance and harmony. They need to be equal. There needs to be compromise. There needs to be equal give and take in these relationships for her to feel balanced and in harmony with herself. So Venus for the next few weeks, definitely for the rest of this month of August, is going to be in Libra, highlighting relationships, balance, equality in relationships. Okay, then we're going to move forward to the 19th of August, and this is when Uranus turns to retrograde motion. Now, Uranus rules the God mind. Uranus rules higher dimensional or higher universal energies. Uranus rules the future, progress, progressing. It rules rebelliousness or rebellion. It rules being the revolutionary or revolutionizing our lives. Uranus rules freedom and change, and sometimes that freedom and change is unexpected, and the redirections happen very quickly. So a lot of times Uranus brings in the unexpected. Our motto with Uranus is expect the unexpected. So as Uranus is slowing down to turn to retrograde motion, it's going to intensify all the things that Uranus rules. So around the time period of 17th, 18th, 19th, when it goes retrograde, maybe the 20th, 21st, a couple days after, it's going to be at its most intense, bringing in change, bringing in the unexpected, bringing in redirection, bringing in a feeling of wanting to break free of anything, anyone, any situation, any circumstance, any belief system, any perception that's holding us back from moving forward into the future, or what we consider our future, right? So that should be quite an interesting energy. On the 22nd, we have a full moon at 29 degrees of Aquarius. This is a blue moon, and what that means is that the last time we had a full moon in July, it was also in Aquarius, but the full moon back in July in Aquarius was at 1 degree of Aquarius, right at the very beginning of the sign of Aquarius. This full moon is in the very last degree of Aquarius, the 29th degree of Aquarius. And the last degree of Aquarius is a critical degree. Now, the first degree of Aquarius is also a critical degree, but technically the first degree of Aquarius is 0. So when we had the full moon at 1 degree, it was already past that critical degree of 0. But this full moon on the 22nd at 29 degrees of Aquarius is a critical degree because it's that last degree. So it's really bringing something into a completion. Whatever started about a month, or maybe even again about a month and a half ago, 4 to 6 weeks ago, with this idea of completion, because full moons are about releasing, letting go, completion, a completion phase. And since the last full moon was Aquarius and this full moon is Aquarius, there's something from 4 to 6 weeks ago that we're starting to bring into a conclusion phase here. Now, Aquarius energy, what's Aquarius rule? Aquarius rules freedom, independence. It rules progression, progressiveness. It rules scientific breakthroughs. It rules humanitarian endeavors, coming together with people of like minds or finding our tribe. One of the biggest things, I think, though, is with the independence and freedom, and that the change that might bring as well. And then on the same day, the sun, which is in Leo, right? Because in a full moon, the moon is in whatever sign that full moon is in, which is Aquarius, and the sun is going to be at the 29th degree of Leo. So later that same day, the sun moves out of 29 degrees Leo and it goes into the 0 degree Virgo point. So now, from the 22nd of August, for the next month or so, we have a focus on Virgo energies. The light of the sun is shining its light through the Virgo energies of discernment, of details, of analysis, of logic, of figuring out what the best course of action is, of organization, and just using our mind through thoughts, perceptions, practical communication, and all of the things that Virgo rules. Virgo also rules service to other people as well. And then the next thing that comes up that's hugely important is the 29th of August, when Mercury transitions out of Virgo. So it didn't stay in Virgo too long. and it moves now into Libra, joining Venus in Libra. So again, now our thoughts, our perceptions, and our communications is more geared around partnerships, relationships, balance, harmony, equality, okay, within our relationships. So that's the highlights astrologically for the month. Now we can get to looking at what our angels and guides shared with us through the cards. So I already did a meditation. Oftentimes when I'm, especially with the monthly readings, usually with the weekly too, is I shuffle and I meditate and I ask for whatever the collective needs to know. And most of the time I let cards just kind of fly out of the deck, fall out of the deck, etc. And so we definitely have some very powerful cards that came out for this month of August. The first card, as far as the message for this month, was the Tower card. Major Arcana number 16, the Tower. Now in numerology, the number 16, just like with the Death card and the number 13, is a karmic number. So with the 16, karmically speaking, as far as numerology, which also relates to the Tower and the significance of the Tower, but the number 16 is about some sort of huge transitional energy that occurs around us, outside of us, in our environment, whereas the number 13 is usually about a transition that occurs within us. The death and rebirth energy, the transition energy of the Death card is more, it's about more of a transition within ourselves, a death and rebirth within ourselves, transformation within ourselves on some level. Although sometimes it can still mean a transitional energy going on around us as well. The Tower card is usually about the transitional, transformational death and rebirth energy, if you will, going on around us. There's a huge kind of shaking up of something in our environment, which could be career, job, finances, money, relationship, home, family, etc. And you can see here, the Tower card, we have a building, it's on fire, there's lightning bolts. Uranus, by the way, Uranus turning retrograde. Uranus rules lightning in astrology. So we definitely have kind of this storm energy. That's what I often feel when I see the Tower card. And actually in some renditions of different tarot decks, the Tower card is called the storm, or it shows a storm cloud. In order to have lightning, we have to have some sort of storm brewing. This is something to where we're feeling like the rug's pulled out from under us. The Death card is more like we can initiate, although sometimes we don't initiate, but sometimes we can initiate the change in the death and rebirth. With the Tower card, we're not initiating it. Usually it's like the rug gets pulled out from under us. There's a quick, sudden, unexpected change of circumstances, a quick, sudden change in the situations in our lives. There's something that happens that causes us to move or redirect in a different way, that causes us to need to get our bearings again, basically, and kind of, recover from whatever's going on. So definitely I feel like with the, energies that are happening, take advantage of the Lionsgate portal. Take advantage of meditating and bringing in the higher galactic energy frequencies, the star codes, letting that light kind of come down, from the Sirius star, and let it bring you into kind of a higher vibrational state. This is going to allow not only for you to be able to move through whatever this Tower card energy is all about in an easier way, but it's also going to allow a bringing in of the messages, the directions, the opportunities, the blessings that can best help you to redirect when the time comes to redirect in some way. Okay, let's take a look at the next card here. And the next card is another Major Arcana. Okay, so we have Major Arcana here, number 9, and in this deck it's called Reflection. In the traditional tarot, this is the Hermit card, right? Now the number 9 in numerology, it's the last of the single digit numbers, the number 9, and then we go to 10, which is a double digit. So with the last of the single digit numbers, the number 9 is a number of completion. the end of a cycle, the end of a, energy, the end of a dynamic. We're nearing completion on some level, numerologically speaking, with that number. The Hermit card now is about seeking our own inner light. You can see there's a wise old sage here, a hermit. He's self-reflecting, he's alone. So this is about like withdrawing our energy in self-reflection, withdrawing our energy to go within and seek the light within ourselves, seek the answers within ourselves, to light our own way on our path forward, which is what the hermit does, right? He's got a staff here with a lantern on the end of it, and he's lighting his own way. He's finding his own path. He's seeking his own answers through connecting with his own inner wisdom, his higher soul self. He's using that wise energy that's within him as the wise sage, the hermit, to kind of intuit what he needs to do, what the answers are for him. A lot of times with the Hermit card, we can feel alone. Now, we don't have to feel alone. It might be important to withdraw our energies and have a little bit of alone time, but we don't need to feel alone. Spirit is with us, our angels and guides are with us. Usually we want to have that alone time so we can connect with our higher self, so we can connect to what's right and true for us, so we can listen to our inner guidance, so that we can kind of get our bearings again, because especially after whatever's happening here, right? We're going to need that time to self-reflect and gather ourselves together a little bit. And know that, again, you have the answers within you. You can seek that light and that path forward within you. And Spirit's going to light the way. The universe is going to light your way forward and help you. That's what the light is. The light is the light of the universe, the light of God's source energy, right? And it's showing you what to do next. If you listen, the hermit has to reflect and listen to intuition as far as what to do next. Okay, listen to the wisdom of your soul. And then the last card came out as 2 cards. So the first of those last 2 cards, another Major Arcana, okay? Major Arcana 2, Higher Self. Now, in the traditional tarot, this is the Syrian Starseed Tarot. In the traditional tarot, this is the Priestess card. So what is the Priestess card? The Priestess card is powerful, divine, feminine energy. And to me, that divine feminine energy, whenever we talk about divine feminine energy, we're thinking about nurturing, allowing, being gentle, being receptive, letting things unfold in divine time and trusting and having faith in that. And that is part of the Priestess card as well, to connect with your higher soul self, to connect with that wisdom of your higher soul self. But to me, the Priestess has a power about her too. So it brings in a little bit of that masculine energy, which, with it being Major Arcana 2, right? The number 2 numerologically is about balance. It is about balancing the masculine and the feminine, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So we're not only balancing listening to our intuition and having trust and faith that we're receiving the guidance necessary, that we're being led to the right time, the right place, the right people, that we're allowing things to unfold in divine time, but we're also connecting to that divine masculine energy, the other side of that number 2. We're balancing divine right action. We're balancing in divine leadership and taking charge of our lives. We're balancing in divine action, taking those action steps forward in whatever way we need to. So this is about empowerment. This is about owning our power, empowering ourselves, but also listening to our intuitive guidance. So this is definitely a nice balance of that masculine and feminine energy. And we have a moon back there, in this card, the higher self, that moon. This may very well relate to, by that second full moon at 29 degrees Aquarius, I believe it was August 22nd, and the 22nd is a master number 2, right? So that's a power number. This is maybe when we need to really rise into that divine feminine balance of the masculine and the feminine, and listen to our intuition. Listen to our intuitive guidance, the Priestess, right? She's very powerful. She's very magical. She's very psychic. She's very intuitive. And this may be the time period, that full moon in Aquarius may be the time period when we're needing to really connect to our higher selves for the messages of guidance that we're seeking as far as moving forward. She also has a book in her hands, and that book is the Akashic Records. So we're needing to tap into, and what better time to tap into the Akashic Records than the time of the Lion's Gate portal up until August 12th. And I'm not saying the door slams shut after that, but we want to take advantage of it during July 26th through August 12th for sure. So in your meditations, at least up until August 12th and thereafter, but work on or practice on connecting to your own Akashic Records. Now, Archangel Metatron is the archangel that is the overseer of the Akashic Records. So call in Archangel Metatron and ask that you be connected to your own Akashic Records, which is the book of all knowledge, all wisdom regarding your soul and all incarnations that you have had, do have, including parallel lifetimes, and will have. And so I think that you'll be surprised that maybe through your meditations or maybe through dream time or even waking time that you'll be led and guided to certain information or conversations where it's like, oh my gosh, wow, that really resonates with me. And that's because if you ask to tap into those Akashic Records, you're going to receive some answers. And some of those answers will help to guide you to the next step on your path. And then the card that came out with that, as I said, it's a powerful month, okay? Every single card we've had here is a Major Arcana for this month of August. This is Major Arcana 21. This is, in the traditional tarot, the World card. In the Syrian Starseed Tarot, it's called Ascension, rising, above. This is ascending above the third dimensional earthly life, right? We're ascending, we're evolving, we're growing as souls. And the Ascension card, the World card, often talks about a completion. This is usually a completion of a cycle of energy of the soul's journey. Like our soul, let's say we've had a karmic lesson and we're aware of what that karmic lesson for ourselves is. And for most of our life, we've kind of been on this hamster wheel of, okay, I'm aware of this, but it keeps coming up. This Ascension card or the World card can actually pretend the completion of that lesson, for instance. That's just one example. This oftentimes with the World card, it does talk about some sort of success on our life path, destiny path, and sometimes career path, if it's relating more to, our third dimensional reality. This can be completion of relationships, situations, belief systems, karmic patterns. Again, all with the idea of ascension in mind. We have this beautiful kind of goddess energy here. She's holding the world in her hands. So I definitely think this is more than just on a personal level, although it does relate to us personally as well. But this is on a collective level. Like there's something happening here on a collective level. The Earth Mother Gaia, is going through a huge ascension process. And I think that's part of the Lion's Gate portal energy, part of the new moon on 8/8 Lion's Gate, part of Uranus perhaps turning to retrograde motion, and part of that second full moon in Aquarius that happens this month. I feel like there's a lot of powerful energies here that is bringing, guiding, allowing our Earth and the collective of humanity, of the Earth, to really kind of take a huge kind of leap as far as its ascension and evolutionary path. But again, this is also on a personal level as well. So a lot of huge, powerful energies going on. Let's go ahead and take a look at what your special message card is, depending on your stone of choice. So I'm going to just shuffle this is the Starseed Oracle deck. Let's just give this a little quick shuffle here. Tuning into Divine Truth and Divine Truth only for each group of people that chose their particular stones. Okay, so for those of you that chose the Lemurian Seed Crystal, the Bridge Crystal, Lemurian Seed Bridge Crystal, special message for Lemurian Seed people. This one's calling my attention. Okay. Fall into my arms. Fall into my arms. I'm going to read it and then I'll show you again. It says, fall into my arms, surrender. Surrender, holding the opposites and extremes of life. So this to me, holding the opposites and then talking about the extremes of life, you know, again, this is kind of needing to balance energies in your life. This is balancing the masculine, the feminine, balancing your ego with your higher soul self, balancing the shadow with your, you know, multidimensional light body self. This is balancing home and family, career and life path. This is like balancing all different things in your life that may be creating nervous anxiety or chaos, etc. The surrender part too, especially important. It goes back to me to that Tower card where we just, you know, have something quick, sudden, unexpected that comes in and transpires that we feel like we have no control over. We need to just allow. We need to surrender. We need to let go. We need to trust. This is what the surrender means. Surrender and trust the universe. Surrender and trust your higher soul self. Surrender and trust that your angels and guides are going to assist you, guide you, protect you, lead you along the way, right? So that's what the fall into my arms is. It's like falling into the universe's arms, falling into the angels' arms, falling into those that are here to guide and help you from other dimensional realities. You know, again, it's like letting that energy guide you. And again, this can be your higher soul self too. Fall into the arms of your higher soul self. Leave the ego. I don't want to say leave the ego behind because we need our ego, but it's like detach from the fear of the ego. Detach from the negative self-talk of the ego. Detach from any anxiety of the ego and fall into the arms of the universe and surrender. Sometimes we get to a point where we are challenged in life, where we are going through some karmic lessons or challenges or difficulties. And at those points, we just need to kind of, if you will, metaphorically or literally throw our arms up and say, I surrender, you know, help me, show me the way, guide me, give me the answer, you know. Within you, you have the answer too. But if you feel like you need, you know, from your angels and guides, from the universe, some confirmation, you know, you can say, please show me if this is right. Show me if this is the right path forward for me. Is this what I'm supposed to do? Give me confirmation and surrender to what occurs. Surrender to the death and rebirth energies that are happening. Sometimes we just have to trust and surrender that. Sometimes things need to fall apart or clear out for something new to come in and for you to rise like the phoenix, you know, from the ashes and rebirth your life and be born anew for yourself. So I feel like that's what this message for you, Lemurian seed crystal people, is all about. All right. For those of you that chose the selenite hearts, people, special message for selenite hearts. This one's calling my attention. I'm laughing because the word surrender is in this one too. This says surrender to the sweetness. Surrender to the sweetness. And it says Venus energy, pleasure, joy, and make love to life. So surrender to the sweetness. A little bit different connotation here with this surrender. It's like surrendering into joy, happiness, abundance, prosperity, pleasure, blessings. Surrender into that. Again, it's sort of like releasing the fear and releasing the doubt and releasing the anxiety and just moving into a state of bliss. That's what I feel like this card is. Surrender into the sweetness. Surrender to bliss. The idea of bliss. And find bliss and sweetness in every moment. Find that gratitude for each and every moment. You know, look at the beauty that's all around you. Go out and see the beauty of nature and have gratitude for it. See the beauty within a friendship and have gratitude for it. See the beauty within a project you're working on and have gratitude for it. So wherever you can surrender into the sweetness, the joy, the happiness, the bliss, the pleasure, and make love to life, well, in everything you do, everywhere you go, every person you meet, make it a joyous experience. Make it a pleasurable experience. Okay? Venus energy. Venus is a planet of blessings. You know, we often talk about Jupiter being the great benefic, the great bringer of blessings. But Venus is called the lesser benefic. Not that she's less than or anything like that, but she's called the lesser benefic because she's also a planet of blessings, just to a little bit lesser extent than Jupiter. So Venus can also bring that blessing energy into our lives. It can bring that abundance, prosperity, blessings, love into our lives. But if we exude that love, if we exude that abundant energy from our heart chakra, then we can magnetize it to ourselves even more so. So, again, surrender to that sweetness and bliss in life. Okay, for those of you that chose the lapis lazuli, lapis people, special message for lapis. Special message for lapis people. This one's calling my attention as I open my eyes. Forge, don't follow. Forge, don't follow. It says, pave a new path. This is kind of Uranus sounding, right? Uranus is like the rebel. You know, he's the rebel. He's going to rebel against things. He's going to make his own way and beat to the beat of his own drum. That's the Uranus energy. When it goes retrograde, beat to the beat of your own drum. Be your own unique self. Forge that path. So forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader that you wish you had. So be your own leader. Be the leader for others. Others that are looking for a leader, you know, to follow, basically. And not that you need a parade of people around you, or, you know, that you need to be in this state of, you know, ego leadership or whatever, but this is about a leader as far as living your own authentic truth. Because as you live your own authentic truth and you beat to the beat of your own drum and you embody that energy of freedom, of spirit, of your soul, that freedom energy, that energy of beating to the beat of your own drum and being independent and self-sufficient and just like strong within that energy, that's going to attract people. And not that they're, again, necessarily going to be attracted to you to follow you, but that they're attracted to the energy that they want to embody that energy too. And you're giving them an example of how to do that. That's what that is about to me. That other people are looking upon you and saying, wow, I want what she has. I want what he has. I want that independence, and I want that confidence, and I want that to be able to be my own unique self without any fears or holding myself back. I want to forge and blaze a new path for myself, you know, without being afraid, and being confident and just trusting and having faith in where I'm going to go. So be the rebel, be the revolutionary. Blaze that new path, blaze that new trail. I'm trying to look at the imagery on this picture, and it has a lovely woman here. Can't really tell, you know, this kind of looks like a bridge, but there's a woman here that looks like a body of water, and it looks like this beautiful kind of, I'm going to call it the Emerald City. There's an Emerald City over here. And to me, whether that's a reflection or that's a rock or whatever, but I'm going to, you know, call it a bridge. It's like she's ready to walk across that bridge, walk across the water, and get to that Emerald City, to get to that new energy that she wants to embody and move towards. You know, those blessings that are there, the abundance that's there. Green is the color of abundance, right? So she's crossing this bridge to get to the abundance on the other side. She's forging that path. Maybe she's creating that bridge and that path with her mind. But through that visualization and through that trust and faith and through her confidence and her freedom to be her own unique self, She's going to get to that Emerald City. She's going to get to those blessings on the other side of that water. And it's going to be a wonderful, beautiful experience once she gets there. So I hope you've all enjoyed this monthly intuitive reading for August 2021. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Please share the video if you feel so guided. Comment on the video. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Sometimes I'm a little late in looking at those comments, but I do try to get to them eventually. Thank you for all of you that follow me on Facebook. I appreciate all of your love, light, and support, your kind messages, your words of wisdom. I appreciate each and every one of you, sending you lots of love and light during this 8/8 Lions Gate portal of energy. And we shall see you next week and or next month. Blessings, everyone.